In this video, I'm going to be putting this Nextbase DAB unit through its paces. This is the DAB 350 BT for Bluetooth, and the idea is that it transmits DAB to the FM, so the stereo in my Honda SMX here can pick it up, and it also allows you to use Bluetooth through the radio. So this is going to be a very interesting test. Right, so firstly, I didn't pay for this. This has come in for testing. I did not request it. I was actually after a dash cam to test, so that will be coming up in a future video. But when I was speaking to Nextbase, they said, oh, why don't you give this unit a try? And given I like DAB, because it means I can listen to 6 music on the move, which is something I cannot do currently, I thought this was a very good idea. So here it is. I haven't even opened the box yet. Let's give it a go. Right, we're in. Installation guide, might look at that. Instruction manual, oh, that's chunky. Might look at that. We have a cable, that'll be the DAB aerial, I think. Yes. Delicate component, must not be folded, creased or cut in any way, so be careful with that. Sachet of drying stuff. Oh no, screen wipes. Screen wipes might be useful. Make sure things stick where they're meant to stick. Oh, and that's it. Okay, let's get the unit out. Ah, there we go. So that is the unit itself. Where's the camera? That's the camera. Not the best light here. It's quite a small unit really, so that's designed to stick to your windscreen, and you can control everything through there. Jolly good. So we'll take off. I think I'll just get all this set up and we'll come back. Right, here's a look at the display itself. It's a bit lo-fi. Look at that slow scroll as it tells me who's coming next. But it does appear to work. The signal strength is not showing as very strong, and that surprises me not at all because we're in Wales and it's horrendous, as I say. But I guess I need to see if I can test the Bluetooth. I'm not sure how I'll record that. Ah. That's just come unstuck from the windscreen. I can see this is going to be an issue. Okay, this now seems to be stuck to the windscreen successfully. This is the aerial, 2 long strips coming off it, or 1 long strip and 1 short strip to be more accurate. This is a ground for the aerial, which goes up this cable, and there's a magnet that attaches it to the roof, so I've managed to tuck that up and out of the way. I really should have got some sticky stuff remover on that patch of gunk in the middle, but never mind. This was a pain. I had to open that up to get it to fit at all, and if that doesn't fit, the signal is very weak and it doesn't work very well. Another problem I've had is mounting the unit. I wasn't happy mounting it on the window, so I decided to mount it to the dashboard. And there's a little sticky pad to enable you to do that. The problem is this little sticky pad is not very sticky, so it didn't stick to the dashboard. It was there for all of about 5 minutes before it fell off. So what I've done, I've taken out a blanking plug here, and I'm using that. I've screwed the two together because it's going to be out of sight. By the time the unit's mounted, you won't see the screws at all, and drilling into a blanking plug means I can replace that blanking plug if I feel the need, because you know I've pretty much ruined that now. Well, he says throwing it on the floor, but let's see if I can find that, because that now should slot in nicely there. There we go, which means I can then mount the unit dustly. Brilliant. Although I do need to fit that locking ring on the back of it to stop it wobbling around like that. So I'm going to do that now off camera. Further testing of the Nextbase DAB adapter, and here we are driving around in Wales. I haven't heard any radio at all since we left the house. That's a little disappointing. I have driven cars with DAB in these very hills, and I have had some reception. This is a little upsetting, especially as it shows that it is getting some sort of signal, 1 bar. So it's showing 1 bar, but it can't get enough to actually give me any sort of music. We'll see how it does. I'm driving to Birmingham today. I'm sure there will actually be DAB signal further along the way. Well, I've driven about 20 miles now, and it proves just how terrible DAB reception still is. I know I could listen to FM on this stretch and it would work. I have done that. I have listened to the radio on this stretch. Sometimes it's a bit hissy, but you can listen to it. But with DAB, if the signal is not strong enough, there's just nothing at all, and it's hugely frustrating. Oh, there we go, there's a bit. So we finally got some after 20 miles.
Yeah, that's basically...
Sorry, Lauren. That's Lauren Laverne on BBC Six Music doing a sterling job, she always does. Now got much better reception now we're in the Midlands, but it has to be said, the DAB doesn't sound as good. It's not as punchy as the standard FM. I don't know if there's a volume control on the Nextbase unit. It's a horrible device to try and use when you're driving along. The controls are really clunky. I've had it freeze up once, and trying to reboot it on the move, it wouldn't respond to the power button. So I just had to unplug it and wait for it to stop. So yeah, it's not proving the best device really. It also lost its connection with my Bluetooth. It still has problems connecting to my phone book and just says no, can't open it. So it's not going all that well. So I mean, the only advantage DAB gives you is that you get more stations, so I can listen to Six Music, which I cannot do through standard. But if I'm travelling through Wales, then it seems DAB just doesn't work for me at all. So this isn't a unit I wouldn't be in a rush to fit DAB to any of my cars, let's put it that way. But the Bluetooth element is particularly disappointing. The call quality is apparently very poor. I can hear the person the other end, but I have to turn my stereo right up to be able to hear them, which is exciting when it then flips back. Yeah, my ever-trusty assistant was on the other end of the call and said, you sound like you're miles away. I mean, the box is down here because it says to mount it low if you're attaching it to the dashboard. So I've done that, and the result is that I'm very hard to hear when I'm driving along. It's not surprising, the microphone's miles away. It's been a bit disappointing really. I'm glad I've got Six Music when I'm at places that are civilised and actually have DAB, but yeah, I can't help thinking this box of tricks isn't really delivering what I'd hoped for. I just hope to adjust lanes because we are on the M6 and have to pay attention. That's another problem. If you're scrolling through your address book trying to find a contact and you stop because, you know, there might be something going on. We're driving cars along here, there are situations developing, trucks pull out, you're having to respond all the time. If you stop for even just a few seconds, it goes back to the normal screen and you have to start the tedious process of scrolling through your address book all over again. I have learned something while I'm driving around the roads of Hinckley. I was wondering, why is the radio reception so poor? And one reason seems to be that if I plug my phone into charge, it knocks out the DAB adapter because they're both going into the same port. I've got a little double adapter thing that allows me to plug more than one thing in at once, which is increasingly essential in today's modern world where you've got about 600 gadgets to power. So I'm sorry Nextbase, but that's not very good really. I'm just trying to use it as I would normally use it and it doesn't work. So if you had any doubts about whether my reviews are legit, hopefully this will tell you that it really isn't. I mean, if Nextbase get all uppity and won't send me any more kit, then that's up to them. But my integrity is what comes first. And I'm sorry Nextbase, but I just don't think this is very good. It's horrible to use. It doesn't seem very good for reception. The aerial keeps falling off the windscreen. And generally, I'm pretty disappointed with it. Right, now I'm back home, where obviously it's raining. Could talk a bit more about the Nextbase unit. On the drive back from Birmingham, I actually had decent signal pretty much all the way home until I got to known black spot areas, notably the Cambrian Mountains where I live. It didn't work very well there, but all the way back it was fine because I was not charging my phone, and that's the adapter I use to do that. So I can plug two items in at once. I don't think it's good enough that it gets so badly affected by other items. I still think it's very clunky to use. It doesn't work particularly well for phone. It is good for listening to digital radio, but overall I'm not sure it's quite the unit I hoped for, and it's left me a little bit disappointed. It might work for you, it didn't really work for me. So thanks Nextbase, but it's a no from me on this one. Soon I will be testing the Nextbase camera, the dash cam, which shoots both ways at once, so watch out for that one. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you again. Farewell.